హాయ్ ఫ్రెండ్స్, వెల్కమ్ టు అవర్ యూట్యూబ్ ఛానల్ డిఎం ఆల్ ఇన్ వన్. ఫ్రెండ్స్, ఇంకా మన ఛానల్ ఎవరైనా సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేయకుండా చూస్తున్నట్లయితే ప్లీజ్ వెంటనే సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేసుకోండి.
Good morning everyone. A warm welcome to Professor Venkatramaya on behalf of University-Skim-Icssr Management and all on behalf of the participants. It's a great opportunity to introduce Professor Venkatramaya sir. Thank you for accepting our invitation, sir. Sir has a professor in operations management at Indian Institute of Management. Sir has 3 decades of experience in teaching and research in India, Singapore and USA. Sir has earned his PhD in operations management from College of Engineering, Anna University, Chennai. Sir was postdoctoral fellow at Singapore MIT Alliance program, Nayaman Business School, Singapore. Sir worked at Honeywell, Singapore as a SCM lead engineer. He has worked at IIT Madras, IIM Indore, IIM Kozhikode as a faculty. Sir has published more than 130 research papers in peer-reviewed international journals and international conferences of high repute. Sir has a vast research experience, presented 47 international conferences, 14 national conferences, authored 4 books. Sir has collaborated many premium institutes for research and completed 8 other projects. Sir was a Fulbright scholar to W. Gravy Business School, Arizona State University, USA. Undergone training on global participant centered learning at Harvard Business School, USA. Sir is certified professional in lean healthcare. Sir is a recipient of Nelson Mandela Leadership Award and Jati Ayurveda Samaj Award for his seminal work in the area of healthcare management. Sir has trained more than 600 MBA students in healthcare management at Indian Institute of Management, Lucknow and other areas. Sir has carried out a number of consultancy projects and offered executive development programs for reputed organizations. Sir is also mentor for few startups in healthcare and supply chain management. He runs a half marathon. Thank you for accepting my invitation, sir. Thank you again for your gracious presence. And we are eagerly waiting for your session, sir. I would like to open the session to you.
Thank you. 1 minute before the professor starts, on behalf of the participants and on my own behalf, please accept the small Sir, this is the 6th day of this program, and Professor Venkatramaya is known to us very, very well. Normally, there is a stand among the IIMs, Indian Institute of Management. You know, Indian Institute of Management is a premier institution across the country. And generally, when we invite the universities like this, invite these IIM professors, they won't immediately accept to come down here unless otherwise something is better than their presence. But in spite of, here is one gentleman who never thinks of anything except our invitation. The moment I called him, sir, you have to come here, he said immediately, yes, I will come. He is from Chittoor district. In the sense, he is from Telugu districts. That is very important. So immediately he is the person who responds positively to our requests. And every time when I was head of the department 4 years back, I invited him. He came and delivered lectures to students. And now this is to research scholars. Sir, I humbly submit to you that the ICSSR sponsored program has 30 participants here from different faculty, different departments like commerce, sociology, folklore is also there, commerce is there, and history. So all the kind of mixture of all the social science subjects, and majorly, of course, management and commerce. So with this, I request Professor to handle the session. Right? Thank you. This is one of the best of my ability. I am getting a cream of people from different places. It is up to you to make use of it. Right? Thank you.
Good morning. And I really overwhelmed with the kind of hospitality that always Rayalaseema is known for, and hardcore bed of Rayalaseema is known for. I get a different energy to come to Anantapur, I must tell you.
Thank you.
Maybe Anantapur, all together, and Murali is a very, you know better, many of you who are students are also, nobody can say no to Murali, that is very important. And he is a person with intoxication kind of communication and personal rapport and things. I must tell you at this point in time, because Modi is here, it's not about the institute to institute matters. It is about individual to individual matters. So the first message from my side, wherever you may be, either you are in IIT or IIM or a university or even another small remote place, what matters is your association with the other person. It's very important. So please maintain that quality of relationship that matters. It's all called network effects in management language. So it is proved all over the world that it is not the companies talk to each other, it is the individuals in the organization that build the brand or build the reputation of the organization, or otherwise also. The reverse also is because of the people. It's not about anything else, it's people. So I call Modi as a people's teacher, student's teacher. So for students' sake, we can go to any extent. So I think that made me to have no choice but to say yes.
Can I take this?
Please. Tamil language is fine. So that's what has been given to me. I thought let me stick to that. I'll try to share my experience of using these slides. This is going to be my overall presentation outline. What I have done and how I have. Is by and large my experience shared. So whatever that you listened to Murali and Krishna and Bhuneshwari about my introduction, it will be an extended introduction of it. Maybe plenty of good experiences. It will not stamp that permanent. Whereas small bad experience or not so good experience will be remembered or registered for longer. So that's where I don't do that kind of thing. But sometimes that depends on the audience also. So something may go well, something may not go well.
Not every Tom, Dick and Harry will get full rights. He stands out like that. The reason why he was chosen by IIM, there are certain distinctive qualities in him. Right? And he teaches operations management, and his focus is on healthcare. And whenever we need any medical tip or advice, we seek his advice. As I told you, he recommended me to one of the wonderful hospital in Tirupati to go for cataract surgery and all that. So we are immensely thankful to you, sir.
Don't.
And you are visiting and you are enlightening our students, right? And I hope and guess students are immensely being benefited by this lecture. Very simple and down to earth, unassuming personality. And rarely do we come across such people, right? The IMs and they live in ivory towers. They don't come to the grassroots levels to us, nor will they speak to us. So he is not like that. And he wants to motivate mediocres. Today's mediocre, maybe tomorrow's good, right? So he has been encouraging. For the past 5 minutes I've been sitting through and listening to him, the way he has been explaining them. He's striking a right chord in us, motivating us, inspiring us, right? So he is trying to explore different ways and means of motivating you. Right? He is encouraging to write papers, he is encouraging you to go for publications, apply for different scholarships and all that. Right? You will be the wonderful researcher and wonderful teacher after receiving all these inputs. This is all I got. So thank you very much, sir, for visiting our institution. Many a time you have visited. Each time is a different experience. Right? So I have a good fortune of listening to you for a few minutes. Right? So
I must also share that, as I already told that, I would say in the entire country also, Anantapur stands out in very, very equitable quality education in the country. Even today, if you see, Anantapur is gifted in that sense. We are all lucky and maintain that. We have great teachers, really, really great teachers. Great institutions cannot become great unless the teachers and students are great. I have a great respect for that. University and particularly the entire Anantapur region stands out on that. That is what is the ecosystem that is happening here. You will not find this kind of balance there. Even in Chennai, if you look at, very difficult to find such a good number of institutions in one single location.
It's a immense pleasure to have your class here. I'm fortunate to be there to participate in your sessions, and you are my inspiration, sir.
Inspiration to me.
Inspiration to me. I would like to express my deep gratitude on behalf of all the participants and on my own behalf and the University-Skim-Icssr Institute of Management. I thank you for your gracious presence and the excellent sessions about data collection methods and inputs about articles, about reporting. Thank you for your sharing knowledge to explore writing with articles in different fields. Thank you so much.
Our last lecture was with regard to what is quantitative research and what are the major designs that we take up under the quantitative research. So wherein we try to bring in the two major designs, one is the experimental design and survey design. Though very often we use survey design for social sciences, experimental design is also equally important for one major reason, that is, there are many things that we skip in the survey research. We tend to get the overall trends, we get to know the overall relationships, but much of the details are missing in a survey design. So therefore we find even in a quantitative research, the experimental design comes to the aid of bringing in the details of the relationship. So the qualitative design, we see that there are much more narration, there is much more description, there is much more an inductive approach, and we see that there is there's a lot of information, congregated there. The major advantage being seen through the eyes of the other. Okay, so these are two, major approaches, and we find that this experimental design also has, is kind of addressing much of the issues that the qualitative researchers raise. So the experimental design has its own way of doing or conducting the, going ahead with the research, wherein we said that there is a necessity for a stimuli or an intervention, and we try to see how the stimuli is normally visualized in the form of an independent variable, and we try to see what is its impact on the dependent variable. So when we are trying to do this, there are some procedures which fall in line with the natural sciences, wherein we try to see that, essentially to do a classic experimental design, we need to have two major groups. One is called as the experimental group and the other is called as the control group. And the experimental group is the one whom we try to manipulate, or it is a group where the independent variable is manipulated, which means it may change or it can be given in different forms, and that is being tested. So we normally have the two groups, the experimental and the control group. So it's this kind of brings in a lot of comparison, and we are able to to get to know the influence of one variable on the other, or the influence of independent variable on the dependent variable. We already said that this kind of addresses much of the testing of theories, testing of propositions, testing of hypotheses, and therefore experimental design has a very big advantage in the quantitative research. When I was trying to tell this, I said there are varieties of experimental designs, and probably we have the pure experience, we have the natural experience, we also have the quasi experience. These are three major trends. But even without that, there are a few types which we call it as a pre-experiment, and I try to tell you that there are the three designs, isn't it very nice? And one of those designs, I said I will get back to it tomorrow. So we had this one-shot design, wherein I remember I said that, you know, even if you don't go by the proper pure experiment design, still, even if in a very quick manner, we would be able to get the details by trying to do some simple research which has this experimental component in its approach. So one is the one-shot design, wherein we have one single group. So if I'm trying to tell you, if you can recall, trying to tell you that there are some movies which tries to bring in awareness. Okay, so you try to show the movie and then you try to take a post-test, or after seeing the movie you try to do a test. So there is this one group being addressed. It's what's called as the one-shot group, and then we try to take their opinion or their prejudice status or level after showing the movie. So this is just trying to do it in one group and just seeing their opinion after showing the picture. So that is one. So that's one-shot group. There was no problem there. The other one was the pre-test post-test design, where I said that there is a single group which you do a pre-test and a post-test. See, always when we are doing an experimental design, a pre-test and a post-test is equally very important to know the change, isn't it? Like you have the experimental and the control group, you also have a pre-test and a post-test. So this group addresses that, the second way in which we can understand the influence of the movie on the group. We can do a pre-test and also do a post-test. So single group could be also do that. And there is this third group test that it's a static group. Okay, so I think I said that I'll come back with a little more explanation. So I just wanted to bring in this variation. Here also the static group, we also, we show, here the pre-test is missing here, no pre-tests are there. So we show the movie, just like this one-shot group, we show the movie, but we also test this with, the group which has seen the movie, and we also test with another group which has not seen the movie. So you are able to know the impact of the movie on the group. Right? So this is normally done. And so I just wanted to tell you, because there was so much I said I will get back to you tomorrow, so I just wanted to clarify on that. Okay, so similarly, I think I was trying to tell you about the quasi-experiments, wherein the true experiments there are no problem. Natural experiments also, you see that whatever is happening, we try to measure. And actually quasi-experiments is also one part. It's also a variation of the natural experiments. Okay, to ask questions. So whatever has been left, please do a recheck at the end of the data collection process. Don't forget to record the response, and also to wrongly classify the response. Sometimes, after entry of the data, you know that it doesn't make sense. So if you're recording the data, so you should be careful. And many times we have